Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. And today is video 15, which is our last video in our Eclectic Heirloom series. Yay, we made it to the end. And today all we have to do is the cover. And I want to talk to you about the large writing cards that we were going to do, or as you can tell, we're going to do. It kind of gives it away. And I'll talk to you about why. The cover, I've decided to do a collage. We are only going to need kit papers to finish this project. We're not going to need anything else. These are all scraps. These are my least favorite scraps that are not duplicates, you know, whatever, because I've still got this thing of scraps. And I actually almost used this paper as the whole cover, because if you look on this piece of paper, this is the stitches, this is the lace, you know, this has all the backgrounds of all the different pages. However, you can't get the whole thing on the book. So what I decided to do was to use a large piece so that we had several of the backgrounds that we're not going to be able to fit on here because we don't have them. And then use a little bit of collaging around that. Now I've already started a little bit of it just because I wanted to get an idea of how I was going to do this. I'm going to put this piece on last. So what I did was I drew a line. So I kind of had a guideline of where I wanted to collage, which isn't very far at all. Now, you may be wondering why the paper cutter's out. If you know me, you'll know why the paper trimmer's out. Cutter, trimmer, whatever. And that is because in my brain, all my collages are in straight lines. Now, this is particularly in this case because we haven't used any torn paper or paper scraps like that in this whole project, so it would seem totally out of character of this book to go ahead and just tear up some pages, do you know what I mean, and say, oh, okay, Eclectic Heirloom, Eclectic Heirloom. No, it's just not going to be that way. So we're going to work around the line that I made, and we're going to overlap some, and that way, and then we'll put the paper on top. And if I need to, I'll cut a thin strip of 2 papers and put them around the edge if I need to frame it. But I don't think we're going to have to. So what I've done so far, and I haven't glued anything, and I glue mine using Fabri-Tac. Now, most people probably would decoupage or Mod Podge or something like that. I don't want to do that with this cover. Again, it's not like the rest of the book, and I don't think that it would fit the theme. Okay, so I'm just going to do the way I normally do, which happened to fit this book, go figure, since I did the book. And we're just going to do some pieces of the pages that we've already used. Now, a couple of these we're going to overlap because the actual piece is too big. And I just want you to know that ever since I saw this bingo card, that bingo song has been in my brain about Bingo was his name-o. And if I hear it one more time in my head, there was a farmer had a dog and Bingo was his name-o. If I hear it one more time, I think I'm going to scream. And hopefully now that I've said it out loud, now it's in your brain, and I don't have to listen to it anymore. Okay, so let's set this piece to the side. We've got our outline of it. Now, I definitely want to use these. I want to use the clock piece, probably this bottom square, or we can make it into a square because it would fit right up here. I think the clock fitting up here would be good. And then maybe this part of this one, and then some of this one, and then we probably will be full. So I don't know about this one. This one seems big. This one's big, but we're going to cover part of it. So I may cut this one down. If I cut it down to the size of this, though, then, you know, but a little bit taller, it's going to be, this piece is going to seem awfully large. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because this one, you know, is large anyway. I think I'm going to, now remember, we have to keep our little border around as well. So you have to keep that in mind when you're gluing the pieces on. So we're going to want straight edges, another reason to use the paper trimmer. So let's look at what we've got so far. I actually have a pencil out to mark lines. I know, it's ridiculous. So I've got this, and I think I'm going to go ahead and glue it on, and then I can overlap if I need to, or as needed, because we're definitely going to overlap. We're not going to butt the edges up to each other, which I do a lot in collaging as well. They're just a different style than most people that I've seen collage. Sort of like my little brain, very, very different. So let's glue this piece down. I'm very nervous about this. I was going to put this on a 6x8 and then glue it, but then I realized this page, this whole book has gotten out of control. So I'm going to have to glue it right to the page and hope for the best. Okay, so let's glue this down right around the edges. Just like you were gluing on a piece of paper to any of the pockets or anything. I thought about putting a pocket on the front as well. And it still is not what, you know, totally out of the realm of possibility. But I think it would be, unless, I just slid that. Unless we did it before we did our big piece and made our big piece the card with more collage behind it, which is still kind of an idea that I'm playing with, making this into a manila folder card, collaging the front, and then putting a manila folder pocket on the front with this card in it. I think that would be kind of cool now that I think about it. The more that I think about it, then we could get more of the different pages on here. We would cover this, actually, unless you put the pocket right here. Okay, let me think about this for a second. What do you guys think? Holler, as if I didn't video this ahead of time. Because this would be kind of cool as a card on the cover with the cream around it. So we've got more. We've got this sheet. So what if we put this down, then we made a pocket, and we put this section down as a card in the pocket, and then when you take the card out, it looks like this piece of paper. That I like as a better idea, because then we can do this the way we want, and then once we look at it, we can say, doesn't need a pocket. Okay, so we're going to set this aside again, and I want to take a piece of this, but I don't want the full amount. I only want about this much. Okay. Now, another thing is, my dog is barking, and so everything is going to look like it's overlapped up if we don't cut the pieces out ahead of time and then overlap up and down. Hold on just 1 second. Oz? No. Hopefully me halfway covering the mic and him listening to me will allow him to overcome his urge to bark. So what I was saying is that if we lay them down ahead of time, we can overlap them, and then underdo them. So it's not just a this on top of that, that on top of that, that on top of that, which could be cool too. So let's look at that. So we put this one here and put the next one there and put the next one there over that. Oh, then we could see the whole clock. And it's also very orderly. It makes my mind happy. Except for that big hair right there. We don't want to glue that to the page. We want to have our border. Okay, I think I've convinced myself. Let's glue this one on. And we still have the dark half of this if we need it. But I don't think we will. This is probably the day you want to do when you're not wearing any nail polish. I've given up on wearing nail polish. This has text on it, so we want to make sure it's right side up. We want to put it on even with the other one. And then have our edge. Okay. So now let's put this one on. And let's put the burgundy side down, for goodness sake. And then I think I'm going to cut a piece with these numbers. And then we'll just do the piece with the clock. We're not going to do like this huge collage thing. We're just going to kind of represent a few of the pages or papers. You know, if I made this smaller, if you did it this way and made it smaller, we'd have room for a little bit more. Make it smaller this way. Paper trimmer moved, so I'm not sure how that went. Yeah, and then we could do it this way. And then we'd have room for maybe one more extra piece that we didn't have room for. Okay, that one's glued on. And then this one is going to be glued on. I can do that because I'm working on a glass surface. Okay, so I'm going to overlap it just a little bit. We're going to maintain our border. We're going to try not to go inward or outward at an angle by accident, which in my case would be easy to do. I can't write in a straight line. I like this piece. Let's cut a piece of this. Overlap it, make it this wide, and then let's make it like this tall. So let's let's make it this wide. You guys are yelling at me, no, you're crazy. This tall. But this is me. You guys can do you, of course. You can do whatever you like. It's your book, your cover, whatever you like. I'm going to put this piece down. I kind of wish I hadn't gotten the darker part. You know, this part. I wish I had gotten this part. I don't know though. Kind of grungy and funky. I do like the other part though. The whole rest of it is so dark. Yeah, look how much darker that is. I like this light piece much better, I know. It doesn't look light on the page, but the other is a lot darker. Okay, so let's put this on here. And in fact, though, yeah, that's the one that was too dark. In fact, though, I'd really rather not have this covered. So let's put our next piece on, which I really don't want a BINGO on the front. I just don't. I just didn't like that paper very much. So we could put some of this. Okay, take this off for the second. And put it with our clock. And make a piece like this. And put it on. Yeah, see the border's already getting closer and closer. Now come back and put this piece on, put it on top of both. Whew. Down a little bit. I almost put it too far apart. Yes, I like that better. I like the way it looks. And we'll just do a couple more pieces. We'll be done. That one was cutting it a little close with the edge of our paper too. Okay, now I definitely could use, I don't want to put these two together, the flowers together with the flowers, so let's use some of this. But that would be kind of dark against. How big is our piece of clock here? Let's cut that. Yeah, I could just put a thin piece of this and then we could put our clock on. And we could call it collaged. I just really don't like this either. What if I put my clock piece here with this up on the top? No. Alright, let's mark how, oh, we're just going to do the width of the paper. I'm going to cut it off right here, actually. There. A big clock. Okay, so you want this up in the corner. Actually, it goes this way, which messes everything up. But who are we to say? Cut it out this way. This is the way it's going to go. And then we will, it's too dark. You know, these just look ugly together. I just want to say, I don't know whose idea it was to do the cover this way. But I'm not real wild about it now that I see it, to tell you the truth. Let's see with this one here. I really just don't like it. We do need a bright color. Okay. Now I've got Old MacDonald Had a Farm stuck in my head. Apparently farming. Today's farming day. apparently. Okay, we're going to put this on. Then we're going to like the only piece that I like besides the big piece on. And that's the clock. Our border. Make sure the clock is big enough. Okay. I can put it with the 12 at the top. And that's what I'm going to do. This piece of paper has a little bit of a wrinkle in it. That's all right. You won't be able to see it. All right. 12 at the top. Okay, let's make sure this piece will fit over the top. Still have our border. Why is it not fitting over the top of these? Because I had it crooked. Looks better than I thought. See, I was cutting it close with that clock. I cut it crooked. So we'll start with that corner. Make sure we have plenty of glue to hold everything down, since we're going to be going over the top of the other pieces. This glue will smush flat, so it doesn't matter that I'm not, you know what I mean, it'll smush flat when I run my fingers over it. Right, so I wanted the word 10 right side up. Start by lining it up here. Sometimes with Fabri-Tac you can, you know, get it right away. Okay, so that's going to be our cover. It looks all right. It looks all right now that I see the whole thing. It's a little dark. And there's a little mistake right here. But if I'd have moved this over to fix the mistake, then I would have had no room. Look right here. Okay, So there's that. Now let me talk to you a minute about the card. And I'm not going to write Eclectic Heirloom on here at all. I'm just going to let it stand like that. I'm not going to put the card on. I'm going to put any manila folder on the front. It's pretty obvious it's a manila folder book. And yeah. So here's where the card is. It's right here. There's two. It is so difficult to get in and out. And it's also difficult to find where it is to put the pocket, put the card back in the pocket. And it's so squeezed in there and amongst everything else. And you can't put any paper on it. You would have to put just a manila folder card in there. So I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to mention that mine has a pocket there. I'm not going to say anything about it. And I don't think that anyone looking at the book would think that there was a pocket there. Okay, there's our side. Whoops, our fat little side. It's so fat. Oh, plus I was squeezing it on the other side. Here's the spine on this side, the back. I put these two little cards in, and that's where I started with the bingo. Oh, geez, I said it again. Anyway, and then I put in some writing paper. And then, of course, we still have all the others that go everywhere. But those are the two most recent pages that we've done. And I'm not going to do a card. You're welcome to. The measurement I got on the card that fit is 4 3/4 by 7 3/8. Now, your mileage may vary. Your book may be different, a little different in size. You may glue a little more, a little less. But that's just the general idea of the one that I got to fit in mine. Okay? Okay. Well, that's it. That is it for this book. That is it for this series. And I will see you in the next series. And that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay. Bye-bye.